Okay, everybody, welcome back to another problem in Stats and Probs. So far so good. We've already done 7 items in our hypothesis testing skills. And now we're down to the last 3 problems. Are you ready? Let's do this, okay? So now let's go to item number 8. Kaylani loves posting snapshots on her Instagram, which is why her account currently has 5,000 followers. Kaylea, her sister, claims that the average number of followers on Instagram could no longer be higher than her big sisters unless they're celebrity fans. So yeah, in this particular question, it talks about IG post. How many followers do you have in a certain IG account? Diba? So you know IG is short for Instagram. And so for my jowa, of course they're American vloggers. And you know in America, they love Instagram so much. And I don't use Instagram. So yeah, if you guys know what Instagram is, please post a comment on the comment section. Because I need to know exactly what that is. But in general, I don't even know what those are. So, never mind about that, okay? So, sabi ko dito, Kaylea claims that the average number of followers on an Instagram account could no longer be higher because they're not celebrity fans. So, with that, Brooklyn Queen checked on 300 randomized Instagram accounts and obtained a new average of 4,695 followers with a standard deviation of 1.8k followers. And so therefore, we obtain a sample mean and a sample of n. And a decision was proven by Jojo Siwa. Of course, Jojo Siwa is also one of my American vlogger friends. And she decided that the average number of followers on an Instagram account is less than the true average using 98% confidence level. Would you rather conclude that all of their assumptions are true? Use p-values to answer the problem. Okay. So not like last time in our hypothesis testing problems, we don't use p-value. Ngayon, let me show you how the p-value works. In p-value, we call that probabilistic values. The p-value of testing if this is true. The rule there is, remember in hypothesis testing, your goal is to either accept or reject the null hypothesis. Remember, in Z-score, if your null hypothesis lands on somewhere where the rejection region happens, that is the tendency where you get to reject the null hypothesis. However, on the other hand, if your computed Z-score lands on not within the rejection area, therefore, it approves the null hypothesis. Pero when we use p-values, we use probabilities of our Z-score and probabilities of the Z-score to tell if we have the right to reject it or to accept it. For instance, in a one-tail test, if you have a Z-score of negative 1.96, which is 47.5%, 2.5% one-tail test, and then you got confident, and then remember your computed Z-score is, is 3%. So therefore, that is the correct answer. So therefore, that is accept. Because remember, if your probability value is less than the critical value, or the probability of the critical value, we tend to reject it. If your probability value is higher than the probability value, therefore critical value, therefore it is accepted. So that's how p-values work. Because we use probabilities to determine if a null hypothesis will be rejected or accepted with more proofs and evidences. To see what I mean, let's answer the question. First, we need to identify what is the null hypothesis. So what is the null hypothesis in this situation? The average number of followers is 5k followers. So that is our null hypothesis. 5,000 followers. Pero what is our H sub A? Our H sub A is, our null hypothesis is not, our mu is less than 5k followers. Pero teka, bakit less than? Basahin mo yung problema. It says here, Kaylea claims that the average number of followers on an Instagram account could no longer be higher. Could no longer be higher, ibig sabihin lesser. So opposite siya. So therefore, we're using the left tail test. We're using the left tail. And then what is our alpha, our level of significance? Sabi dito, we are using 98% confidence level. If that were so, remember confidence level, diba? 100% minus 98%. So therefore, what is our level of significance? 2%. Correct. Kasi nga we use p-values, that is our level, that is our critical level. That is our rejection region. We have a 2% chance of rejecting the null hypothesis. That's why when we use p-values, if our probability is lesser than the rejection region, therefore we tend to reject now our null hypothesis. If our probability value is higher than our critical value, we fail to reject the null hypothesis. So yan. So now let's go to our solution sheet. So of course, this is my solution sheet as you can see here. We have mu is equivalent to 5,000 followers. Our H sub A, our mu is less than 5,000 followers. Our level of significance is 2%. And then our standard deviation is 1,800 followers. Because diba sabi ko dito, 1.8K, that's the same as 1,800 followers. And then, diba remember, our sample standard deviation, diba remember, our samples, how many samples did we check? We checked on 300 samples. And when we did so, we obtained a sample of 17.32051. So that is exactly what we did. And then our standard deviation divided by our samples so that we can get 103.92 followers as our standard deviation. And now, this is what we're going to do. Diba? Remember, it still applies the same formula as follows. So you're still going to apply the same thing. Diba? It looks like that. Mu is equivalent to 5,000 followers. Mu is less than 5,000 followers. Our X is 4,695 followers. And then our mu is 5,000 followers. And yan. So now let's identify the given. And then our alpha is 98%, which is a 2% level of significance. And finding 2% level of significance cannot be found anywhere on our Z table. So if we check our Z table, where is our 48%? Yan, it's in between the two values of 4798 and 4803. So yan, it's right in the Z-score of 201, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5. 205 and 206. Wait. Tama, that's the wrong Z-score. Kasi ang ginawa ko dito, I use 2.07. Kasi boys, as you can see here, this is 2.07, 2.08, 2.09. So dapat it should be in between 2.05 and 2.06. So now we apply the math. So ganito kasi yun. Of course, the formula still imply. Of course, wait lang ah. The formula still implies the same thing. So, diba remember, we have little x, 2.05, 2.06, and then we have 0.4798, 0.48, 0.4803, diba? And then here, big X minus little x, big Y minus the little x, yan, diba? And then, we subtract. And then we have x minus 2.05. Diba? Then from here, what do we do to these two? We divide, diba? So we divide the two numbers. And then we should get 0.05. And then we have 0.05x. Then this guy is this guy, 0.05 times negative 2.05, diba? 2.05, and we should get this answer of negative 0.1025. And then here we have this guy times negative 1. Add. And then this guy we add. Then from there, we have this answer. And then from there, we divide. So we divide by 0.05, and then we get 2.054. So therefore, that is our Z-score. Our Z-score is supposed to be 2.054. Because, diba remember, ano yun? Here I got 2.064. But that's alright. Okay? So dapat this should be the right answer. So yan. So therefore, where's our critical value? Our critical value is, for 2% is 2.0554. Dito siya. So that is our critical Z value. Okay? Now, we are to use p-values. Diba, remember, that is your 2%. So this is where it lands, our 2%. 2% lands over there. Diba? Now, let's standardize and solve for our Z. Diba, remember, so now we compute for our Z score. So identifying what is given, we have an X bar of 4,695 minus 5,000 followers divided by the standard deviation divided by the square root of n. Diba? So, of course, you have something like this. Okay? Yan. And then you get negative 305. And then 1,800 divided by 300, you get 103.92. Just like that. And then when we do that, ito yung sinuot ko, we standardize 4,695, 5,000, L307, which is 103.923. And that is our Z score. Our Z score is negative 2.395. That is our Z score. Our computed Z score. So yan. If we use Z-score method, this is what happens. Our Z-score of negative 2.935 lands somewhere on the rejection area or on the rejection boundary. Because the rejection area starts at negative 2.054 or 6454. So therefore, do we accept the null hypothesis or do we reject it? It is rejected. Ganito siya. So we type here, if our computed Z value is less than the critical value, if it's correct, we reject. If it's false, we accept. So it is rejected. Now for a second method, let's use the p-value method. Of course, it's still the same like what we've done here, pero we're doing p-values, diba? So kung p-value, it's still the same. You have your mu of 5,000 followers, which is our null hypothesis. And then your alternative hypothesis, mu is less than 5,000 followers. Then our level of significance is 0.02. And then our standard deviation is 1,800 followers. And then our samples is 17.32. Just like that. And then when we compute for our Z score, we do this, diba? Instead of just standardizing, we type here normal distribution. Because we want to calculate the probability. Kasi nga kung sa mo last time, we compute for the Z score. Now we need to show more evidence through a concept of probability. Because they say sometimes the probability that is less than the rejection region is here. Diba? And then, diba, remember, this is where the critical value lands on. If your probability is less than the shaded region of the rejection area, therefore, it has completely more evidence to state that the null hypothesis is rejected. So we did the same thing. You just type normal dot distribution. And then you type 2, then it gives us the corresponding probability of 0.0016487, which corresponds to a Z score of negative 2.9334. If you look for your Z table, you might remember negative 2.93, that's 49.83%. Then minus that by 50%, that's 0.0016 or 0.16%. 0.16%. So therefore, 0.16% is the probability of our computed Z score, of our rejection. And then our critical level is 0.02. So therefore, what do we do here? It's still the same method. If our probability of computing for Z is less than the probabilistic value of the critical value, we reject or accept. Dahil tingnan mo to, you see, diba, remember, the one in light pink, that is where our computed Z value is. It lies here. Diba? Although I put it on the outside dahil what you is dahil hindi mo siya makita yung kulay. And then, the one where you see the dark pink, that is where the rejection region happens. So therefore, since it's less than the original probability of the critical value, so therefore, we tend to reject our null hypothesis. So therefore, our null hypothesis is rejected. Now, di ba remember sabi ko dito, Jojo Siwa claimed that decided that the average number of followers on an Instagram account is less than the average. Is that true? Yes, it's correct. Kasi nga, diba remember, sabi dito, would you rather conclude that all of their assumptions are true? And the answer is yes. All of their assumptions is true. Correct. So now that's item number 8. Now let's go to item number 9. Malsi is a tiny defense enthusiast as much as his younger sister is. Okay, Malsi, shout out to you po because I know you're my cousin so much and I miss you na talaga. Sana we can meet again because I'm really having a traumatic issue because of my cousin Sam who is already graduating senior high, going to college, and that's why I'm so jealous na talaga. Hindi ako nag-college, and that's why I'm going to fight her na talaga more than ever. Kaya Malsi, if you're listening to this video right now, shout out to you po. Please tell Peterson, please tell Cheat E, hindi ako magbabago sa habang buhay unless I talk to Sam and tell her na talaga why I'm so bad and why I quarrel lots of people, especially to all the strangers out there. I just want to give you a big shout out talaga because I just want to tell you na I'm so grumpy because I was not able to go to Zamboanga in 2016 and now I'm 25 years old, and because my parents are getting old, I don't want to stress them. So shout out, I just don't want to be stressed out, and my Pips is now getting mad at me. Kaya nga, I just pray to the Lord, sana Pips will die na talaga because of all his stupidity. Para wala na komplemento ko sa kanya dahil binibisit niya ako na walang kwenta. Putay mo talaga! So yeah. Kaya nga, I don't want to give you any good remarks anymore. Anyway, so now let's go to our question here. So Malsi is a tiny defense enthusiast as much as his younger sister is. This time around, they're getting curious about how many seconds later does an older cycler emerge into the battle. Kung sa team mo last time, our tiny defense character last time was about gunboats and hyperjets, but now it's about older cyclers, which is the fastest enemy. So Malsi played this level in the Iron Fortress 10 times. Ayan, di ba remember that's level 5-9? Level 5-9. He played that level 10 times. And he found out that all older cyclers seen in the level emerge into the battle 1 second away during her period of emergence. Kasi nga, do you remember whenever an older cycler shows up, it's always her period of emergence, and then her mean time is 1 second later. Pero teka, do you think that is the sample mean or the original mean? Not yet. Let's read the problem. So let's and then sabi dito, he also then realized that the means could not be equivalent. Ayan. Sabrina guesses that most of the older cyclers that emerge into the scene is not later than 1.19 seconds after their period of emergence with the respective variance of 1.69 seconds. Using p-values and a 4.5% confidence level or level of significance for the test, which statement can disprove the null hypothesis? Ayan. So in this particular question, I have two cousins, Malsi and Sabsab. Si Sabsab, she's the youngest cousin. I know in the Chong family there are 3. The one whom I'm having conflict with is the second one because I always quarrel with my cousin Sam all the time. And because of Sam, who's now graduating college and senior high, that's the reason why I'm already killing her more than ever, which is a sin. And that's the reason why I keep on talking to strangers so I can tell them why my sabotage plan will not be a stop and why is it a go for the rest of my life. Kaya nga, that's the reason why I'm so bad forever. And if you want to help me, please leave a comment below. Okay? I just want to hear your comments if you want to help me with this type of issue or, yeah. Kasi nga, I want to talk to them na para wacholas hindi ako magagalit. And now I don't have contact. That's why I'm even more mad that I want to kill them. And yeah. Kaya nga, I don't like to behave na talaga. That's all I can do. Anyways, back to the problem is this. So, ito yung problema na to. So, ganito kasi yun. So, now let's identify the given. So, di ba remember sabi ko dito, Malsi is a tiny defense enthusiast, and then he's curious about how many seconds does an older cycler emerge into the battle during his period of emergence. And when he played this level in the Iron Fortress 10 times, di ba remember how many older cyclers are seen in level 5-9? 18, di ba? 1 in the before the first wave, 2 in the first wave, the 1 in the first wave itself, then before the second wave, and then 2 in the second wave, and then third wave 4, then plus 1 more, so 10, then 2 more in the fourth wave, and then 6 in the final wave. So 18 ultra cyclers altogether. 18. So there are 18. Alright? And then the 18 times 10, because he did it 10 times, so therefore, our sample is 180. Okay? So 180 ultracyclers. So that is our sample. Okay? And then our standard, and then what is our sample mean? Let's read the problem again. Malsi played his level in the Iron Fortress for 10 times, and he found out that most of the ultracyclers seen in the level emerged into the battle 1 second away during a period of emergence. That is what happened. So, di ba remember, pinalaro siya ng 10 times, and then he got 1, and then he found out that most of the ultracyclers, so pagkatapos na, so ganito siya. Pagkatapos siya naglaro ng Iron Fortress level 5-9 10 times. So, what can he conclude? He concluded that most of the ultracyclers seen in the level emerged into the battle 1 second away during the period of emergence, which is the sample mean. Bakit sample mean? Hindi siya yung total mean. Kasi nga, it's called the sample mean because it says, realize that after playing it 10 times, diba? And he found out already what happened. Because just what I said, you obtain a sample mean after you take a series of samples. Diba? And then, that is our X. Now, Sabrina and then, diba, si Malsi, he even then realized that the means could somehow not be equivalent. So therefore, this is a two-tailed test for Malsi. Kumpara kay Sabrina, on the other hand, she's using a one-tailed test. Bakit? Kasi nga sabi ni Sabrina, my little cousin, she guesses that most of the ultracyclers emerge into the battle not later than 1.19 seconds. So we are using a one-tailed test. That's correct. Because kay Malsi, it differs. Kay Sabi, it's less. Pero, which one? Which is the tail test we're going to do? The left or the right? Dahil sabi dito, not later, ibig sabihin earlier. So earlier is negative. So therefore, it has to be on the left side of the test. Okay? After the period of emergence with a respective variance of 1.69 seconds. So using p-values and 4.5% level of significance for the test, which statement can disprove the null hypothesis? Okay, so let's identify the given. In this particular situation, we are going to do two tests. First, we will do Malsi's two-tailed test and Sabi's one-tailed test. But which one are we going to do first? Let's do Sabi's muna. So for the sake of Sabrina, our null hypothesis is the mean is 1.19 seconds later. Diba? What is our alternative hypothesis? Our alternative hypothesis is that the ultracyclers that emerge into the battle is less than 1.19 seconds later. So, one-tailed test. Our standard deviation is, di ba remember sabi dito, our respective variance of 1.69 seconds. So, how do we compute for the standard deviation when the variance is given? Ang kailangan namin gagawin ay square root mo yung variance. So, taking the square root of 1.69, so therefore, you get a variance of a standard deviation of 1.3 seconds. And then our n is 180. And then our sigma, or level of significance, is 4.5%. But that's only for the tail. So 50% minus 4.5% is 45.55%. Just like that, diba? Let me write it for you. (45.5%). So now let's locate on the Z table, where is that 45.5%? Aha! It's in between the two values of 1.69 and 1.7. Because diba remember dito sa 1.69, 4545, which is closer to 455. Diba? Let's type again. 5 minus 4.5. $45.5. So that's it. 45.54, 45.45. So yan. So now we apply the linear interpolation as follows. So when we do that, diba remember 45.44, and then we get 0.009 and then 0.01. And then we have this one, diba? 0.45 and 0.4545. Yan, diba? and then we get 0.05, and then we divide, move the decimal place 2 places to the right, and then we get 0.09, then we multiply, it goes like this, 0.09x, then 0.09 times negative 1.69, this is what I did here, so let's do it in calculator, negative 1.69 times 0.09, yan, we get negative 0.1521, just like that. And then we add, and then 0.005 plus 0.1521, we should get this answer, diba? 0.1526. Then divide by 0.009. Tama, 1.695555 something. And therefore, our computed Z value is there. Pero, that is for the critical value. The critical value is at the 1.69555. If you do this by Microsoft Excel, ganito siya. So, di ba remember ito yung kay Sabi? So, di ba remember our mu, our standard deviation, our null hypothesis that the mean is 1.19 seconds, our alternative hypothesis is less than 1.19 seconds, and then our level of significance is 4.5%, and then our standard deviation is 1.3, then we have sample, we take the square root of 180, and then the sample standard deviation, 1.3 divided by this one, we get this, so yan, and our sample standard deviation is 0.09689 seconds, and then we get our critical value, tama! So our critical value is normal standard inverse of 0.045, which is this guy, and we get our critical value of negative 1.69539.771. And then, how do we compute for our z-score? Ito yun. So our z-score, di ba remember, our x is 1, our mu is 1.19, and then our standard deviation is 1.3, divided by the square root of 180. Doing so, we get this answer. Negative 0.19 divided by 1.3 divided by 13.416. And then we get this answer, and then we get our computed z-score of negative 1.96085. To see what I mean what I did here, ito yun. So I standardized 1, 1.19, and then, di ba remember, our sample standard deviation is 0.098689627.9, and then what answer did we get? Our answer is negative 1.96085. So tama, doon siya. And that is our computed z-score. And wait, where is our critical value? Our critical value is at the 1.69, negative. And if you look here, this is where critical region happens. Our rejection area happens. And our computed z-score lands here, inside the rejection area. So therefore, what can we tell? It is rejected. So Sabi's is rejected. Pero here's another catch. Let's use p-values to answer the problem. So, di ba remember, sabi ko dito, if we're going to use p-values, it still applies the same method. Di ba? So, you still have the same thing. And then, di ba remember, what you're gonna do here is normal distribution of this one so that you can get the probability. And the probability that you get is 0.02498. Di ba? Or which is rounded off to 2.5%. And 2.5% is less than 4.5%. Because, diba remember, if you have a probability that is higher than the probabilistic value of the rejection region, therefore we accept the null hypothesis. Pero, if you have a probabilistic value that is less than the probabilistic value of the critical region, it is rejected. So therefore, this is what I did. I typed there, if this z-score here is less than this z-score, if it's correct, we accept. If it's false, we reject. And it is rejected. So therefore, Sabi's is rejected. Pero teka, we're still not yet done. Bakit? Because we still need to work on the second case. Di ba remember, Sabi dito sa problem na to, it's not just only Malsium we have to work on, it's also Sabi. Pero we only worked on one first, kay Sabi, because she believed in the one-tailed test. Kumpara kay Malsi, he's conducting a two-tailed test. So now let's try it using a two-tailed test naman. Same problem, pero two-tailed test. Now, you know already what to do to your two-tailed test, diba? So your 4.5% divided by 2 is 2.25%. And when we subtract that, 2.25%, 50 minus 2.25%, let's do this. We get 47.75. Now, where is that 47.75% in our Z table? Yan, it's in between the two values of 2 and 2.01. Yan. Luckily, I wrote the solution here. So of course, your criteria is still the same. Your X is 1. Your mu is 1.19. Your standard deviation is 1.3. Your N is 180. And your alpha is different now. It's now 4.5 divided by 0.045 divided by 2 because we are conducting a two-tailed test. Alright? Now, let's identify the given. First, let's identify where the critical region is. So, for the sake of 2.5%, 2.25% pala, where are we going to find that in our Z table? Let's apply the linear interpolation and find out. So, ganito siya. Yan, 4.778. And that becomes 0.006. This becomes 0.01. And then we have 0.003. Because that's the one we want to look for. And then x minus 2. Hey, that's kind of easy already. And then all we have to do is just multiply, diba? Then we add both sides by 0.2. And then we get 0.1203. Then divide both sides by 0.06. And therefore, our z-score is 2.005. So therefore, the critical region happens if your z-score is at 2.005. As you can see here. Ang ginawa ko dito, on the other hand, sa solution sheet ni Malsi, ito yun. So, di ba, remember, it's still the same method, di ba? Yan, we type there, normal standard inverse of 0.045 divided by 2, which is 2.25%. And then, what is the z-score that we got? We got negative 2.00465, which is simply rounded up to negative 2.005. And on the positive side, we have 1 minus this guy. Of course, we know that's 2.25%. And 1 minus 2.25 is 97.75. Tama? And then we still get the same answer, which is the positive. The absolute value. Okay? And now, we need to test if our null hypothesis is accepted or rejected. But look at this. Our computed z-score is right here. It lies within and then our rejection region is right here, negative 1.96. So we compute for a z-score again. So to compute it, it's still the same. And we get a z-score of negative 1.96. But where is the critical region or the area where we have to reject our null hypothesis? It's at negative 2.005. But negative 1.96 is outside the rejection region. So therefore, we failed to reject the null hypothesis. So therefore, ganito siya. I did this in Excel and then I said here, if this guy, our z-score, computed z-score, negative 1.9608 is less than our z-score of negative 2.005, if it's correct, we reject. If it's false, we accept. But since it's outside the rejection boundary, so therefore, it is accepted. On the other hand, it's to the right. So therefore, our computed z-score of negative 1.96, which is right over here, and it's farther away, greater than 2.309. It's not here. It's less than. So therefore, it is totally rejected. So it is accepted. We don't reject the null hypothesis. So yan. Now, if we want to use p-values, just like what the question stated, di ba, remember we're using p-values. We type their normal distribution of this and we get this answer, the same answer. And remember, what did I tell you? If your probabilistic value that you computed is less than the probabilistic value that you had computed for the critical z value, therefore, if it is higher, it is accepted. As you can see here, tiyan mo. You see, this is where the rejection region happens, yung naka-dark blue and yung naka-navy blue. That is our computed probability. And as you can see, it's higher. Although it's a tiny inch away or millimeter away. See that? Dito yung rejection area. Dito hindi naganap yung rejection area. So therefore, it is correct that to say that that the null hypothesis is accepted. Yan. So dito siya, di ba? So therefore, we type our z-score here. It's right over here, di ba? If this guy, if our computed z-score of 0.0295 is less than this probability 0.025 225, correct or failed. It is rejected. So yeah, it is accepted. Even on the right. Although binaliktad ko dahil because we want to get the right answer. So yan, and that's it. Pero we're not yet done. Kasi nga the question is, whose null hypothesis is rejected? Kasi po, because diba remember, si Malsi, he used a two-tailed test for this problem. Kumpara kay Sabi, she used a one-tailed test for this problem. Now, the question is, whose statement can disprove the null hypothesis? Ibig sabihin, nag-reject. Of course, kay Malsi, it's accepted. The null hypothesis is accepted. Kumpara kay Sabi dito, it is rejected. So therefore, what can we conclude? We can now conclude that Sabi's null hypothesis is rejected. Just what I wrote here, Malsi's statement completely keeps the null hypothesis, while Sabi's statement has more evidence to reject the null hypothesis. Just like what it says here. My cousin Sabrina conducted a one-tailed test for this experiment. Consequently, her null hypothesis is rejected. Therefore, it is deliberately decided that Sabrina's statement definitely disproves the null hypothesis. So that's it. And that's it. So 2 items done. Now we only have one more item. So stay tuned for the last one. Peace. And Malsi, if you're listening to this, shout out to you. Sana what you always makita tayo muli because I really miss you na talaga. And I want to tell you something very, very important. So Malsi, if you have a YouTube channel, please comment and tell me about it. So I will know exactly where you are. So, yeah. Have a great day. Have a great day, guys. God bless ka na sa pag-aaral, Malsi.